alongside Steve Smith. And you know what? We thought OKC were the favorites in this game, right? We all picked OKC to win this thing, but Milwaukee goes out. They were the more dominant team. But to me, I don't even think anyone really thought they'd win like this.
No, I didn't think so. But I think what happened was Milwaukee clicked defensively. Offensively, I mean, you know it's going to be Giannis and Dame. And did they have enough? Well, we were looking at they needed that third person. They had some guys that play well, but to me, it was their defense led by Giannis. They really came out focused, and also give guys credit. Everybody took turns guarding. You know, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander made it hard for him. Andre Jackson Jr. did an excellent job.
Yeah, we were talking about guarding Giannis, but guarding Shai, they did a great job against Shai. He was just 8 of 24 from the field.
It was. They made him work. I mean, the old school face guarding, picking him up, not letting him catch the ball, not letting him be comfortable, not letting him come up to bring the ball up. And I think they did an excellent job, made other guys make plays. And as we see right here, you can see, it was just man on ball, and Andre Jackson was there. And yes, Shai missed some shots, but I thought it was because of the way he played him before he got into the scoring position, really helped his defense and individually slow down Shai.
Because Shai originally, I mean, he had 10 points in that first quarter, and then in the second quarter goes scoreless, and that's when you kind of saw, I don't want to say the doubt, but that's when you saw him pass up the ball a little more than we usually would see.
Well, I think so, and I think also what they were doing is they were daring other guys to make shots. I thought Jalen Williams had played well, but other guys didn't get in the rhythm, hit shots, and then I think the dominance and the force that Giannis played with on both ends just wore down the OKC Thunder.
Yeah, we got to talk about the Bucks here because at half, I think you still thought OKC was in a great position considering the way they were shooting the basketball. But Giannis, 26 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists for that triple-double. Man, every time he got the basketball, he had that possessed look in his eye.
You know, I love that he didn't let OKC off the hook. Smaller defenders, he took them down on the block. Bigger defenders, he drove through them. And I think also he understood the moment. And the moment was, I got to do whatever it takes. And it wasn't just scoring. He was in the right place at the right time, both on the offensive end and the defensive end.
Yeah, I wonder what this, and we heard him after the game here and talk. He was kind of emotional after the game, talking about, you know, what this means to this team, but the belief in this team, considering where they started, 2-8, to now winning 13 of their last 16 games. I mean, this has to mean something a little extra for them.
Well, it starts with your coaching staff, the belief. It starts with your best players, him and Dame. As you can see the focus and how he's been talking in the media, he is one to turn everything around after the slow start. And boy, did they turn around. In this cup play, they've been beating teams handily.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Their numbers, both him and Dame, are up in NBA Cup in this tournament. And you look at a guy like Dame Lillard and that combination of the two. This is, I think, what most people thought when Dame Lillard came over from to the Milwaukee Bucks, that this is what this combination could be.
What I loved about it, that Dame didn't have to force things. I mean, to me, as you look at his game, he had 23 points. He was just 6 of 12.
Right.
You know, remember in Portland when he had to force shots to win games, had to be heroic just to win games. He was just very good, and we know Dame can play better, but that's all they needed tonight is timely shots. And I thought in that second quarter he made a huge shot to give them confidence going into halftime.
And that's the thing about this team, and when these guys are going, I mean, when Giannis is taking a break, when he's not playing, or if he's getting that extra attention, Dame can take over a game.
It is, and it's the three-point shot for those guys. I mean, Brook Lopez knocked down shots. Taurean Prince have been shooting extremely well. Gary Trent Jr., if he can get going, that's another guy that's knocking down threes. And we all know Damian Lillard is going to be a guy that you have to stay connected to for 45 feet away from the rim, and then he knocked down threes. So it opened up, I think, the lane and the whole basketball court for Giannis.
Yeah, that was one of the key stats coming into this game, is they shot 42.5% from three, 17 of 40 in this game. But in their wins this season coming into this game, they shoot 42% from three, so right on target right there. And in their losses, about just under 35%. So that three ball has become huge for them.
It is. I think the three ball, but I think also making shots. Also, they understood the pace had to be up and down for OKC to get advantage. It was an old school 80s basketball game.
You mentioned that we were watching
97 to 81. OKC played fast in spurts, but because they were taken out of the net and also the defense of the Bucks, they couldn't get any rhythm. They couldn't get any pace in this game.
Yeah, and you look at a guy like Bobby Portis had just 5 points in this game. Brook Lopez kind of came alive a little later on. It really was the dominance of those two superstars that really kind of pushed OKC.
It was, and back and forth. I mean, Dame wasn't getting a lot of touches, but when he got shots, he made tough threes. He made open threes. He made those shots. If you're the OKC Thunder fan and team, you're going, we were right there.
Right.
We were right there, and they had to keep building, and he kept closing that door. Dame Lillard was knocking down some big-time threes.
You know, I wonder about the perception of the Milwaukee Bucks, because some people looked at their schedule when they went on this one and said, hey, it was kind of a softer schedule. But, as Dame Lillard joins us right now. Come on in, Dave. Move over here. Congratulations. But the perception I was mentioning, Dave, we're just talking about your team right now. Congratulations, by the way. Won 13 of your last 16 games, and people were looking at what has changed between these teams. So why don't you tell us what has changed since that 2-8 start?
I mean, I think we looked within. We came together. I think when you have a tough start to the season, or even in the middle of the season when stuff starts to kind of go bad, you got two choices. You could, everybody can separate and you can fold, or, you can find solutions and take whatever the coaches give you and come together and make something happen, and we did that.
Dame, everybody talk about Dame time, and obviously you're known for that. But today, for me, it was throughout the game. It seemed like you said, hey, they got a little bit more momentum, I'm going to hit a three.
Yeah.
They got a little bit more momentum. It looks like you were saying every time we needed a big shot, not just in the fourth quarter. We knew you come to play then, but it was all four quarters to me. It seemed like it was timely shots. And for Dame Lillard to take 12 shots and still dominate the game, that just tells me you're comfortable right now, and the game is a little bit more easier.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a more simple game. I think when you're playing with somebody as dominant as Giannis, him attacking is an offense. The way the defense is going to react to him attacking, or even him having a matchup, they react right away before he even dribbles. So for me, part of my process has been, how do I make myself effective off of how they react to him? Not getting stuck standing still, moving a little bit off the ball where I'm putting myself, in the spots where I can get a shot, or if I get it, I could be the guy attacking and make the next play. And that was what it was about. Sometimes it's going to be me swinging it, other guys getting shots, and I think that's been good for our team because now everybody's touching it. We sharing the sugar. Everybody's hitting shots, everybody's getting opportunities throughout the game, and obviously for me to be Giannis's running mate, it's going to be those moments in the game, like you said, where I gotta make something happen. I gotta do me. And for a team like OKC, they hit a shot, they make a couple good plays, you got to answer the call. You got to make sure that you stop it right there and not let it keep going, and then us end up having to call a timeout. And that's just what my mentality is, to attack and identify those moments where I need to be assertive and make things happen, and also be assertive or be available for him, when the defense is reacting, make plays, attack to score, just try to make that next thing happen.
Giannis was talking about the chemistry between you two and how that's evolved. I mean, can you just tell me, is that through conversations? Is that just reps? How has that partnership grown?
I think it's from time, for one. I think when we came together, everybody was like, Dame and Giannis should be this, but nobody wanted to give us the time to develop and get to know each other and get used to being on the floor with each other. I come from a situation of 11 years where I'm having the ball every time. And he's been playing for a decade of having the ball every time. So now he's having to get used to somebody else who has the ball and is effective with the ball, and I'm getting used to somebody who's dominant and effective with the ball. So it took, a lot of communication between us getting to know each other, so I could see what his mindset and his intentions are, and so he could see the same about me. And I think over time we've learned that on a much higher level, and it's starting to show in our play, at the start of games, in the middle of games, and especially at the end.
Dane, take me through defensively, where you guys kind of got off to a slow start. But let's just look at now at the NBA Cup. You hold OKC to 81 points. What's been the change on the defensive end? And talk to me about Andre Jackson Jr. He did a really nice job tonight.
I mean, he's been a huge part of it, just his size, his energy, his motor. He's picking guys up full court. He's making them work. He's fighting through screens. He's contesting shots, and he's doing it over the course of the game, nonstop. We asked him to do a lot, and he's been doing it. He's changed our defense, but I think another difference for us has been having a new system. Coming in, I think we were, one, trying to understand what was being asked of us, and also you got to learn to trust what's being asked of you. So, our defense, 5 guys got to trust it. Like, this guy has to do it, knowing that this guy's going to have his back, knowing that the next guy is going to have his back, knowing that the next guy and the next guy. And for a lot of the first, 10, 11 games of the season, it would be a breakdown before it got to the 5th guy, and teams had us scrambling. And I think we've learned to trust it, and we've learned to trust each other. Our understanding has gotten better. And once we saw the success that we have from it, you know, we've only dug deeper into it and gotten better at it. And now we're learning how to navigate it in our own little wrinkles, you know, as possessions go by. And we just continue to get better at it, and it's changed our season.
I want to ask you about your relationship with Doc, because during media day, he told me you're one of the rare superstars that wants to communicate. He maybe over-communicate sometimes through text, through phones, through conversations. Has that continued, and how has that helped?
It's helped a lot, you know, playing for a coach who's won, a coach who's coached great players. He played in this league, so it's a lot of things about what we go through that he understands. So he's able to communicate to us on a different level. So I've enjoyed that. But I want him to know, like, you know, we stars, and I'm a star in this league, but like I want to be coached to be able to be a championship point guard, you know. That's something that I haven't experienced, and for the experience that he has, you know, I'm gonna be open to whatever criticism or direction or whatever it is he has for me. And that's where a lot of the dialogue is, like, I'm just curious, like, you know, how was Rondo? How was it when you coached KG? How, you know, his most successful teams, how was it? You know, like, what do I need to do to help our team and be better like that? So that's really what it's been, you know, and he's fighting me on, you got to be Dame Lillard. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to be Dame Lillard, but I still want to know, like, how can I be the best version of myself for this team? And, you know, I think our relationship is just, you know, it's blossoming. It's getting better and better, and it's really helpful for me to do my job for this team.
What about the emotions of a thing like this? Because Giannis had mentioned that on stage, that there was some emotion after winning this thing. I think we got some video, too, of just the way it looked. I mean, how does this give you, you know, another step into the ultimate goal?
I mean, just feeling when something is on the line and having to trust each other to get it done. You know, I think we've won a cup game where I didn't play. We had a road game in Miami in the cup where Giannis didn't play. You know, we had to punch our ticket, a road game. Then we had Orlando, like we had to go through a lot of things, and we had to trust each other and lean on each other to have some success. And then coming here, and like I said, high stakes, you know, something on the line, it means something. You know, we won something that nobody else won, and every team had an opportunity to do it. So it's not June, but, you know, it gives us something that we could use as momentum, and we can look at this moment and say, you know, when it really counted and people wanted this, we went up against one of the top teams in the league, and we did what we had to do.
Before we let you go, we got to ask him about $515K. What's the process? What do you do with something like that? Did it change?
I mean, for me, man, I don't want to sound crazy, but I'm a max player. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, let me get it then.
No. It's definitely gonna get put to use.
Yes.
But the thing that I'm most excited about is for our young players. You know, for a lot of young guys, they don't know how long their stay in the NBA is gonna be. You don't know how, you know, when you're gonna get that guaranteed money. You don't know when that time is gonna come.
Oh, we got a visitor.
We do got a visitor.
We got a visitor right here.
Come on, man.
My bad. They asking me about you.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm most excited about what it means for our young players. You know, it's life-changing money, life-changing opportunity for them. But for me, I don't know yet, man. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, we appreciate
Thanks,
it.
man.
We appreciate the time, man. Congratulations once again.
Appreciate it. Hey,
Something like that. Something like that.
you don't need it.
Milwaukee Bucks, 97-81 winners taking the Emirates NBA Cup.